Go ahead, Chair.
Thank you very much. Good evening, everyone. The May 6th, 2025 quarterly meeting of the Governor's Commission on Hispanic and Latin American Community Affairs will now come to order. As a reminder, this is a public meeting and will be conducted virtually via Zoom, so please remain on mute when not speaking and use the raise hand function should you wish to be recognized. We will follow the agenda as distributed, which I'll happily share with everybody as we go through the meeting. And commissioners, remember, please state your name when making a motion or speaking. And so let me, may I please have the authority to share my screen so that I can run through the meeting? That'd be great. So before we begin the business portion of the meeting, it's always a pleasure to begin the meeting with some opening remarks. I have the pleasure of being invited by the Korean government to speak here at BioKorea this week. I'm joining you from Seoul, 7 o'clock in the morning here at the South Korean office of GOSI, which is also my hotel room. And it's an interesting time. I'm speaking on the impact of federal policy on the healthcare innovation sector and what that means to our Korean partners. And so and this kind of ties with kind of the policy concerns of our community as well. So as kind of we're all one human race and we all work together. And so I just wanted to thank everybody for your continued diligence, especially on our roundtable initiative, in making this happen, so that we're communicating our voice to the people that need to hear it. With that, I would like to welcome Mr. Gregory Yancey, the Chief of Staff of the Governor's Office of Community Initiatives, to share a few words. Chief, please take it away.
Thank you for that. I see our governor may have went there a little too early and just you guys could have connected. So, uh, and please remind me later to follow up with you, Mr. Chair, because I believe our African Commission is considering doing a health fair or a health event in the fall. So to follow up with you about that. A few things to let you know. We are still in the process for the administrative director position. And so I've been a number of interviews down to two individuals. And so that information has been sent to the appointments office. And so we're expecting, having a selection sometime soon, soon being within a week. And then it's a matter of when that person will be able to go through our onboarding process. I would still be involved as that person goes through the training and coming to the meetings and meeting all of you. But there will be a handoff soon. And so you're going to have somebody who's engaged and to be in this position full time. So I thank you all for your patience, your grace, and just excited about all the good that's coming. Um, while I'm speaking about HR matters, we are going to have some more openings in our office coming up. Um, I can't go into specifics just yet, but within our office, we have the Office of Immigrant Affairs. And so that office is going to be expanding. And so when those positions come available, we'll be sending it to the commission, and you feel free to send them out to anyone you deem to be qualified or even to consider applying yourself. Some of those positions are going to be strictly within the Office of Immigrant Affairs. As you can imagine, some of the concern in the community and the climate where people are trying to understand and process the federal government's position on immigration. And so we want to make sure Maryland is safe for everyone here and that people have due process. So more to come about that. And also one of the positions is going to be regarding also the language access pilot program, where our office will be working with the Department of Disability to help our agencies be more accessible. Okay. A few other things. Tomorrow we are having the Department of Education will be doing a presentation for this for the commission only. This is not a commission meeting. This is just something to provide you all information that you can also share with the community. And so we have someone from the Department of Education explaining um, their policies and some of their practices in response to some of the executive orders regarding immigration, regarding DEIA plus, and also regarding LGBTQIA plus. Um, Also another, oh, feel free. Anyone have any questions before I go I don't want to just shoot out a whole bunch of bullet points to you all. Any questions on anything I said so far? Okay. All right. Also let you know, and we're going to be sending invites and flyers soon. On June 27th, our office is going to be hosting. This is a legal and immigration law training institute, if you will. And so this will be for attorneys. This will be for paralegals. This will be for representatives who may assist immigrants going through this process. We want to ensure that with this uptick, whether it's in detentions, deportations, that people have as much access to attorneys. Our goal is to have 100. We want to have 100 attorneys, paralegals. This event will be at Prince George's Community College. I believe it's 5 to 7, but I will get the exact time and you'll see the flyers and all of that information soon. Now I want to get to some of these action items that were in my hands, and then I'll get back to you all. So some of those action items. We're talking about your town hall. Uh, we're pretty much like 99% there. So our legal reviewed it. They said everything is good. Comms initially kind of said that they just want to check with legal. So I believe we're there. So we can start looking at the town hall. Um, and also, I believe you were talking about forums, community forums, and well, forums, but closed door forums as well. So, any concerns about any potential violation of Open Meetings Acts have been allayed. And also, we spoke a little bit about the Faith in Blue. I hope I'm not getting too far ahead of myself. I know Gabby may be presenting on this later, but um, we are fine on our end. We have an MOU that has been edited and a flyer that's been edited. And also, I will be there tomorrow morning with when we meet with this organization. Gabby, I hope I didn't jump the meeting too far, but would you like to talk about um,
Mm. Yeah, thank you, Chief, for bringing that up. I connected a little bit with the commissioners and extended my invitation to them should they be available to participate. Like you mentioned it, this organization, Faith in Blue or PepCo, I believe. I'll send it again, but they essentially support the community with equipment, medical equipment, and do a lot. Um, in Maryland and also outside of Maryland. So a really good way for us to continue to work with the community. They are going to be loading a container of medical equipment tomorrow morning. And that's where I will be in the morning volunteering and connecting with the organization and also with the hope that we talk a little bit about what we can do in the future. Like you mentioned there was a MOU in place, and I think we initially started to do something with them. There was a flyer that went out some time ago, but I'm not really sure where that ended. I know Aitza had worked on it at one point, but again, we can connect again, and I'll be sure to share more information in regards. And I'll be there in the morning. So if anyone else would like to join, you're more than welcome to. I will send an email reminding you of the address, should you wish to be there, and that will be tomorrow morning at the state agency. Um, address at 9 a.m. and it should be about a couple of hours to help and volunteer. So stop by if you can, not even for the entire time, but if you want to stop for a bit, I will be there. And I believe you all have my contact as well. So reach out if you have any other questions. But that is all that I have for now. Thank you again, Chief, for bringing that up.
Thank you. Thank you. And I will also be there tomorrow. And one last thing on my end, this is more of just a public awareness thing that's coming to our attention, is that May 7th, which is tomorrow, is the last day that you or anyone will be able to fly without having real ID. And so there's from my understanding, well, what it seems to be that there may be a misunderstanding out there where there are some people who believe they have real ID, but don't have it. And so with real ID on the Maryland license, driver's license, you should see a circle with a star in it. Okay, so it's kind of a black circle and the star is actually white. And so what apparently happened is what I'm understanding is that some of these driver's license were issued to people who completed the form, and then some of them were issued to people who completed the form and submitted documents. Okay. So prior to May 7th, what supposedly went out, or what I understand, um, letters were going out to people saying, hey, you need to come in and complete this and show us whether it's a passport, birth certificate, social security card, and two, a proof of residencies. And so we had a response just yesterday, or someone in the community reached out to their office and indicated that why did I get this letter? I thought I had real ID. And so I contacted MBA and got that explanation. So if you hear of this or anyone that you come in contact with and they say that they think they have it or they're not sure, they need to check. Because you can imagine May 9th, June 15th, whatever date, someone's at the airport and not able to get onto a plane or flight to some event or something that's really significant, and then sitting there unable to fly, or may even bring the attention of law enforcement. So this is just I see uh, Commissioner Altamirano.
Sorry, I can't raise my hand on this thing. Um, Mr. Yancey, I believe we can still travel with our passport even if we don't have the real ID.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, I'm not sure about that, but if you heard that, I will look into it as well. But that's good to know. Hope so. But for those who don't have a passport too, we want to make sure that they get um, that they have full information because people had what was really amount to kind of interim ID, and then now, and their driver's license was stamped, just like everyone else who has real ID.
Go ahead, Commissioner Toto. You're on mute, sir.
Here we go. Perfect. Sorry about that. Just wanted to check if there are going to be any. I know that a letter has been sent, but will there be any follow-up communications to the public in general, reminding them, hey, listen, this is the deadline. Don't forget, if you're not sure, get your real ID. Or if you received the letter, follow up on it. Will there be any type of follow-up with that community at all?
To be honest, I do not know. My understanding, just speaking from one individual from the Department of Transportation or MVA, was that they've sent out notices to all the individuals of concern that they believe were of concern of compliance. And I also understand that there are other agencies that have communicated, whether through other all forms of media. But as far as our office, this wasn't something that fell into our office until I actually had a constituent raising these concerns. And so
Mm. No, Mr. Yancey,
And Greg, you come. It's fine.
Greg, okay, thank
Okay.
you, Greg. I don't know if you might answer this. Do you have any idea if these letters or contacts were done either strictly only in English or also in Spanish? Because at least for me in Carl County, that would be a concern because we have limited access to translation services. Pretty much it's me translating for anyone that needs that kind of help in the county. Is there any knowledge if this was done in multiple languages?
I do not
Okay.
have any knowledge of that. The individual, the constituent who sent, just sent a copy of the front of the letter.
Okay.
And so it was somebody that emailed it and or texted over. It was actually a text when I got it. Um, so I will ask, I will follow up with NVA about that. And also, this is one thing that should definitely uh, be brought up when we start looking into language access. Those kind of severe, those kind of notices that have severe consequences. We want to make sure that they do get out. So thank you for that. I'm writing this down now.
Thank you.
Commissioner Gomez.
Yes, thank you. Just following up on what Commissioner Tamirano mentioned, I just shared the link from TSA.gov where it's listing what they consider real ID besides the driver's license.
Okay, great
So
to
it's
know.
on the
Thank
chat.
you very much. Any further discussion on this part? All right. The next item on the agenda is the approval of the minutes from our last quarterly meeting. Do I hear a motion to approve the minutes as distributed?
Commissioner Gomez approved.
Second.
A motion by Commissioner Gomez. Is there a second?
Second, Gabby.
Thank you, Commissioner Gabby. So we have so it has been moved and seconded that we approve the minutes. Is there any discussion on the minutes? Hearing none, we will proceed to vote. All those in favor, please raise your virtual hands or real hands. So, but if you have access to the reaction function, please do.
Commissioner, everybody, let's see. Okay, Stephanie, who else was it? Kate. Okay. I have all that is in favor.
All in favor.
Thank you.
All right, the minutes are approved. We will now hear updates from each of our subcommittees. And so why don't we start with the Business and Economic Development Committee? Does someone from that committee want to
Yes, I'm here.
go ahead?
Okay. We haven't met since I'm no longer the chair of the subcommittee, and vice chair is not here at the meeting right now. So we have nothing new to report.
And so the vice chair will be taking the position of the chair of the committee, I believe. And so
Vanessa.
would you guys would you guys regroup internally and maybe send a meeting schedule to me so that we can get some follow-up and ensure that we get some consistency. It's important that you guys meet.
Okay, I'll talk to her.
Thank you. The Committee on Community.
Hi, everyone. I also see that we're listed as a working group, so I can just in general, obviously we're working on the roundtable discussions and that's going very well. We'll get into that more during that segment of the agenda. The other thing that we have coming up on our docket is the Hispanic Heritage Month event, and what it is that we want to do as a commission. And I think that's something that we will decide as a whole. And then the last part, which we had discussed, I think, a couple of meetings ago, and as soon as the roundtable discussions get going, we'll circle back on that, is kind of creating, which will be in a better place to do actually because of the information that we're gathering for the roundtables discussions, is to create this listserv for us to be able to share the important information that is getting circulated right now through our WhatsApp group, you know, stuff like this real ID thing, but have a real formal method to transmit that information in a very clean and visible way. So as we're collecting information for the roundtable discussions, a byproduct of that will be a listserv that we're able to put together. That's it for right now.
So I do welcome the opportunity to maybe meet with the community committee and then anyone else who wishes to begin discussions on the Hispanic Heritage Month event, because as we know that the event will sneak up on us.
Yes.
And so Lena, if you wouldn't mind maybe circulating some dates and times that work for you, and
Sure.
maybe we can put something on the calendar for anyone who wants to be involved. This is even though it's driven by the community committee, this is again a commission-wide effort. And so the more hands on it, the better. And that way we'll have these two initiatives, the roundtables and Hispanic Heritage Month, and that should keep us busy all the way through at least the end of October. Cheryl, go ahead.
Yes, on a couple of things that was spoke about distributing information, you know, especially with the table, collecting data and getting it to everybody, was mentioning about supplying it through WhatsApp. This information should be going through Gmail, and GoSee should be CC'd on it.
Yeah, no, we've been different.
Just
Yeah. It's not anything that's being circulated to the public. It's stuff that the commissioners are sharing with each other as it's coming up, but we don't have a formal method for circulating it wider than this commission group, formally through the commission. So that's what we want to establish.
yeah, but we still are trying to track all related commission business through emails. So we could see for data collection what the commission is working on. GoSee has no access to your communications through WhatsApp. We can't track data and any correspondence and all that. So it's easier for us to keep records of through emails.
All right, for any important information, we will absolutely use email. No problem at all.
Okay, thank you. That's all.
Commissioner Toro.
Hey, just following up on what Lena mentioned about Hispanic Heritage Month, I will definitely be interested in being part of the conversation for the celebration for Hispanic Heritage Month, because I am interested in the possibility of Carroll County being considered as a possible venue. So yeah, just putting it out there. Please consider me so I can join those meetings.
Perfect. Thank you.
And maybe take a leadership role, Commissioner Toro. It sounds like
That-
you might want to spearhead this effort.
I am very interested in that possibility. I am very interested in possibly Carroll County.
That sounds great to me.
That's how it sounds, because Lord knows Commissioner Hernandez has a lot on her plate right now, and so she might need a deputy for the Hispanic Heritage Month event. Phenomenal. Yes, we will absolutely make sure that you're included in those communications. Any further discussion on the community committee? Hearing none, let's move to the Committee on Education and Workforce Development.
Hi. So since Denora stepped down, we do not have any updates, but I will definitely be sure to follow up on a meeting that we can arrange.
Like the Business and Economic Development Committee Commissioner, would you mind maybe putting together a schedule of meeting dates for the education subcommittee and distributing that and just kind of helping organize when those meetings are going to be? And then please place those meetings on everyone's calendar so that you guys are including ours and Gabby's, mine and Gabby's, so that we're aware of when you guys meet. Is that reasonable?
Yeah, that is.
Thank you very much. Vice Chair.
Yes, I also wanted to kind of quickly recap. There's been a lot of disconnect, a lot of moving parts, but I will say that as we're moving into the roundtable discussions, this is going to be an opportunity for all of the subcommittees to connect and to meet. So my plan is I'm filling in these gaps a little bit and trying to gather all this data is to do that, to make sure that the education subcommittee is meeting and so forth, that all the other ones said the business development as well, and all the others that are kind of missing that connection will come together as well. So we'll talk about that as we go into the topic of the roundtable discussions, but just wanted to put that on your radar as well, that the intent is to definitely schedule, and I'll be sure to ensure that we all meet again.
And if the intent is to focus, for example, the work of the education or the business subcommittees on the roundtables, then consider a joint subcommittee meeting about the roundtables as your committee meeting, because that's you're meeting to discuss what your committee's involvement is. And even though it's not so unless there's a need for a meeting outside of the roundtable discussion, absolutely schedule it. If that's not necessary, then you can report that that you met jointly with other subcommittees to discuss roundtables, which is what your subcommittee is being focused on right now. So, but I'm going to leave the decisions of what the subcommittees are focused on to the chair and vice chairs of those subcommittees.
Excellent.
Okay.
Thank you for that.
Yeah. So, and that goes for everybody. I mean, that's so. But this is your committee. This is your commission. You guys can drive any number of initiatives that you guys have the time and bandwidth for. And thank you again for your dedication to those initiatives. The Committee on Health.
So I don't think Juliana or Maria are here today. The only thing I can report is that our last meeting as subcommission was on March 28th. We met with the CEO, Rufus Phillips, from the Virginia Association of Free Charitable Clinics. That was just with the intention to learn their model, since they serve a lot of the underserved population. So I think with all the report that eventually we're gonna bring to the commission, we're gonna have, I think, a lot of good information to present.
Thank you very much, Commissioner Gomez, for that update. Any other discussion on the Committee on Health? Hearing none, the Committee on Housing.
For the Committee of Housing, we haven't had our most recent meeting due to the fact that I was out due to a health situation. I underwent surgery, but I'm back. We're still data collecting. I sent an email requesting other commissioners' assistance in reaching out to your county's housing offices, verify if they have any data or reports. I've only received from Gabi, from Gabriel, and if you're able to assist, that'll be great, because it is quite a task reaching out to these housing offices. So far, those are the updates that I have. Again, we're still pending our most recent meeting. I need to reach out to the subcommittee members and coordinate the date.
Thank you very much, Commissioner Toro.
Thank you.
Excellent. For the good of the cause, are there any questions or comments from the commissioners for any of the committees?
Commissioner Toro. Just wanted to see if it's possible to follow up. I sent a request for an event or a brief presentation that I'm interested, that I was invited to the Carroll County Circle of Caring. I put in the event request. I haven't heard back. Haven't gotten an email or something if it was approved or not. I wanted to verify if there's any updates on that. Also, the status of the presentation that I created, I received from Lena, but that's pretty much about it.
Yeah. Commissioner Toro, I did look at it, and so I've to follow up with. I saw no issues whatsoever with your attendance or you being there representing the commission. I'll just have confirmation from Larry. I will get that to you tomorrow.
No problem.
I'm putting it down on my to-do list, so I will bump that up so you get confirmation. And we can also help you. I see there are a couple places in there, things we might be able to add to the slide. I've actually reached out to our coordinator and said that going forward, we should already have slides. I appreciate the work that you've done, but we should have had slides so that you can just send them out. And in fact, we do have slides. We use some of the slides for the when you did your onboarding, and so those things should have been at your disposal. So we're going to work on that.
Thank you. I appreciate it. I created that presentation because in Carroll County, it's pretty much most agencies are hearing from GOSI and that has and most of the commissions for the first time. So this is a great opportunity. Any help I can receive, that'll be great. Thank you.
Chief, you'll send out a copy of the presentations that we can use to put together ours. Did I understand that correctly? All right.
Yeah.
And Commissioner Toto, did you find you received the one that I sent you? Is that right?
Yes, correct.
Eventually?
I included the information you provided on the
Go.
one. I consolidated everything. I just need a green light. Hey, this is good to go and be on your way. Yes, but I received it and I appreciate that, Ernesto. Thank you.
No worries. Vice Chair?
Sure. So I just had a quick question. When we want to do events like these, like Commissioner Toro is doing, is this the proper way to request permission to do so? I know he emailed Chair, he emailed myself, and I believe Chief Yancey initially. Is that the proper way to do it? Should any other commissioner want to represent us in any sort of meeting? If I just can get some clarity around that.
Okay. I'm gonna give you two answers. Okay. So hopefully this won't make it confusing. In most circumstances, you'll have more than 14 days notice. And so the request is that there's a link, there's a portal, and you go in there and you put the information where you're going to be. This helps us for data collection to show that our commissions and our commissioners are out there, the type of events that you're doing, and so that we can do our reports as well for it. And also for the administration to know the type of events where there's a conflict or there's a concern. Some events, as you can imagine, you know, some of our commissioners or even staff, we have to do this too, can go to an event where you might have someone speaking hate or doing something totally off the wall and or not knowing that was a prank or a practical joke or something. So yes, that's the standard. We're all supposed to do that 14 days notice because they assume that an event where you're going to be speaking, where you're going to be presenting a citation or something, someone would have sent out an invitation and gave you adequate notice. Now, let's just say you find out about an event within 24 hours. We still want you to fill it out in the link, but the email or call, reach out to me directly. So I can rush this through and say you shouldn't miss a great event because sometimes that's just what happens. You find out within 24 hours and that you want to be there, especially in instances where there are funerals. You're not going to get 14 days notice in most cases. It's just something that's unfortunate happened, and you want to be there and present a citation or so.
This is great. I think not everyone was perhaps aware of that process, so thank you for clarifying that. When those slides are sent, could you please attach the link as well to the form? That way everyone's aware of that process.
Okay. Cheryl, if you could send out the link just to the commissioners, before this evening ends.
Thank you for that.
Commissioner Rios.
Um, I have two things. So one, Greg, I don't have your number to reach out to you. So if you can share that as well, because in the event that we need to file, something for a citation or we need to do something and obviously I would never go above the chair. I would contact Ernesto and say, hey, this is something that I have. I would always do the chain of command and let him know, but so that I'm in contact with you, give common courtesy to Ernesto that we have an event or something like that that's going on. That's my first one. The second one is at this Hispanic Heritage Month, is there any way we can actually get the governor to attend?
I
Like, I
love
know
it.
it's an election year.
I love it. Oh, it's regardless of election year.
I'm just
This
saying.
governor,
Thank you.
governor is active and out and about. And this is a commission. As you saw at our other commission meeting, he was really thrilled to be there and wore his cowboy hat. So, so what we would do, the process is that we're already putting him on notice of the holidays. We already have contact with his scheduler. So that's going to come on our end. And so in addition, once you have that date, once you have that location, you go through the portal process and put in the request for the governor to attend. So that way it's coming from both sides. I would also recommend to request the lieutenant governor. And I hope this list went out. There should be a list of uh, all elected officials. And also, we're going to supplement that hopefully with some judges as well, as well for you to send out into the community and invite them as well.
That would be really great because, I brought my horses. They danced for you. You just didn't show up. I mean, Ernesto wrote it. I'm just saying. I
Oh,
know
you
he brought
mean
his
last?
cowboy hats. Tell him to bring his spurs next time.
Oh, you mean last year at the school? Oh, okay. Sorry. Okay.
Yeah, no, but so what we would do is, yeah, we'll put in a request for him to be there ahead of time, so that especially once we have the date and the time and the location for the event. As soon as we have that squared away, we'll put the request in for him and the lieutenant governor as well. Thank you very much, Commissioner Rios. Let me see. Anything else here for the good of the cause on subcommittee updates? All right, so the next item on our agenda is our discussion on the upcoming roundtables. I'll turn it over to Commissioner Hernandez. Do you want to begin our discussion here on how things are going and what you need from us to help you move this forward?
Yes. So full transparency, we are behind schedule. We had hoped to get the first one kicked off in the upcoming weeks, but we are not ready yet. So we want to make sure that we're ready and that we do this correctly. Here's the plan, I think, is very well laid out. I hope that all of the commissioners have had an opportunity to familiarize themselves with that again. I know you probably saw the first rounds of edits, and thank you to everyone who commented, added questions under the discussion section, added, just points of clarity, all of the things. It's really helped us get the document to where it is today. But oftentimes when we are looking at it in the initial stages, we forget to go back and look at it once it's all been cleaned up. So I urge everyone to please take an opportunity to read through it again. We have pulled out the pieces, so you'll have the plan in it of itself that outlines like what the purpose is, how long, a sample, agenda for the day. We've also included roles and responsibilities for the commissioners, a sample template of the counties and the order in which we want to go. That's the part that's probably going to get adjusted here soon. And then at the very bottom, there are links to the supporting documents. So the participation tracker, which I'm about to talk, that'll be what I talk about next. The discussions questions that I mentioned, the sample invitation letter and email. So you can see all of those, but that document was becoming a little unwielding, having all of that incorporated in one. So we pulled them out into separate documents. So where we need the commissioner support right now is on the tracker. This tracker is where we are collecting the universe of people who should be invited to these conversations, to the table, and to be part of this conversation. And while we will sift through that still, we need everyone and anyone that you all think we should be considering for each county. Some of you have gone through and input that information. I appreciate it. Some of you put it in originally with the kind of original layout, which I realize now didn't include a line item or a column for actual contact information. And that will be super helpful because Cheryl can't send out invitations if we don't have any contact information for these individuals. So if you did add information under your particular county, please go back and make sure that you've added in your emails, your names, the point of contact. These are official invitations that will require a specific point of contact. We will need an email address for these individuals. That's the part that we need now. And the sooner we can get all of these counties populated, the sooner we can get this discussions off the ground. I will stop right there and see if there's any questions, comments, concerns, Chair, unless there's anything else that you want to add, or anyone from the committee that wants to add something.
I just wanted to thank Commissioner Simbala for sharing the document here on the chat window. Please bookmark this and make it a priority to fill it out. I see that, I mean, we have every county, which is great. We might have to combine some counties that we have few contacts in. I mean, I'm just, if you feel that that's reasonable.
That's you'll notice that at the bottom, we have groups of counties. We tried to group them regionally. They have combined total is less than some of our larger ones. So you're exactly right. We will do multi-county meetings for some of the smaller ones. We don't want to miss anyone. We want to give everyone the same opportunity. But if the counties aren't as large as some of our others, then we've gone ahead and combined them already.
Perfect. So just by order of who raised their hand here. So we have Commissioner Simbala. Go ahead.
Hello, everyone. I've been asked by a couple of people, that I've been reaching out to see if they want to be a part of the roundtables. I'm just doing like a soft intro, then formal will come in later. But they want to know if we can share the questions, and I don't know if we finalize yet, or if we're at a place where we could share that information with them so that they could, like, I guess what I'm asking is that something I can do? Share the questions so that they can decide whether or not they can or cannot be a part of it before on the front end, before even adding their name on the list?
I don't know that we have, well, let me go back. Chief Yancey, I'm assuming someone on the team may want to see these questions, or do we need to share the questions in advance with you all? I know that we've shared them with everyone on the commission, and the committees the questions generated came from the subcommittees. So they should be in line, but I'm not sure if there's an approval that is needed for these questions.
Yes, I would like to look at them.
Okay.
If that's okay. And then also while we're on this subject, this is a great point too. Just being mindful of the Open Meetings Act, that as a commission, you won't be making decisions or even considering things to make decisions. As weird as that sounds, just the idea for those roundtables that are closed to the public, where people don't, you know. But yes, if I could take a look at the questions, try to get back to you as soon as possible on those.
Correct. And we have put in, so in addition to the pieces that I mentioned as well, we've been working on talking points that we will distribute to all of the commissioners where it outlines exactly that. Like, we are not here, we are here to listen, and we are here to connect the dots when and where possible. We are not making any promises. We are not offering to fix anything. We want them to know that we see them, that we hear them, and that we're going to do the very best to connect them to the resources that already exist that perhaps they're not aware of. That, and to take back what we hear to the rest of the commissioners, as well as ultimately the governor, to see if there is anything that can be done, if there's real need, but no promises.
Love it.
Where we've been very, like, as a subcommittee, we've been drilling that into our own heads just to make sure we're all singing from the same songbook. But yes, we can share the questions, absolutely.
Commissioner Toro and then Commissioner De Pombo.
Just wanted to check, Commissioner Lena Hernandez, if it's possible for me to join for the next scheduled conversation about the roundtable event, because I would like to join to see if I can like expedite Carroll County. Do you think it's possible for me to join?
That'd be great. We actually had put you up to go first. We had voluntold you. But then we were concerned that given your health issues that maybe you might not be ready. But if you are ready to go, we're ready to go with you. So, and part of it was because your tab on the tracker seemed to be the most extensive out of all of them. So we're like, we're ready here. Yes, we have a standing call for the next, basically every single Friday for the next month at noon. I'm happy to, I'll forward it to anyone who wants to join. We have to meet regularly if we want to get this going.
So this means this Friday you're having a meeting, right?
We have a meeting every single Friday from now until the end of, I think, into June, I believe. But yes, it's at noon.
Oh, please send me the invite, because Carroll County is easier due to the fact that it's like its own little universe here. And maybe you can use the experience here to make any adjustments for the other counties, which are larger. So yeah, if you send me the invite for this Friday, I'll be there.
That would be amazing. Yeah, I think we had thought about you, and then we were also, Alicia, I know we had talked about you as well and doing Howard. You two were the first two that we had up. But you know, we could even do, yeah, I think we can get you both ready to go and have one week and one the next week.
I'm flexible. I would not mind going after Javier. So you know, I volunteer not to be first.
Okay.
Okay. So Javier, you take it away.
Excellent. So Javier is going to be our pilot. It's our pilot county, and then we can, you know, we can iron out the kinks as we go on. Thank you to both of you, commissioners. Appreciate you.
Okay.
Commissioner De Pombo, go ahead.
Okay, yes, the thing is, do you see the roundtable tracker? There are still some counties that are empty, like Talbot County, Caroline County, even Anne Arundel County. And the Latino population is not small in those counties. Talbot County is 9.1%, Anne Arundel is 10%. Caroline County is almost 9% of the Latino population. There's empty. How can we, you know, like reach for help to reach or Latino organizations? I'm trying to reach out, but for me, it's Montgomery County, PG County, Frederick County. We were like sometimes like a cluster. Okay, we work together sometimes, but there are some counties that feel so separate that it's like Talbot County, and the Latino population is not small. It's almost, yes, 9.1%. So how can we help or reach out or the commissioners to not to reach the for organizations?
Yeah, so and just to kind of reiterate, please take a minute to populate as much as possible um that list with the contacts that you may have in the industry. Commissioner DePombo, did I capture your concern correctly? We just need more contacts in that spreadsheet. Commissioner Toto, go ahead.
Just wanted to put out there, if needed be, I can try to assist with, I love Western Maryland, so I can try to assist with Allegheny County, and if necessary, Washington counties. Those are the furthest ones in the state. I can try to help out as much as possible, so you can count me in on those.
Thank you.
That's great.
So I will, I'm gonna back up for just a quick second, because I know for us on the subcommittee, we've been reviewing this stuff almost on a weekly basis. It's much more familiar to us, but I realize and I recognize that the rest of the commissioners are still seeing this information sporadically. The goal is to have at minimum 4 commissioners per roundtable discussion, and right now there are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 standalone counties. We'll hold off on the combined counties, but we're not relegating this to the commissioners that are representing those counties. Any commissioner can volunteer to take part in any of the discussions. Obviously, we would like the lead and the assistant lead moderators to be from the county, so that you have an opportunity to be the face of the commission as you represent those counties or live in those counties. But then we also need someone to help us with the key takeaways that can be summarized at the end of the meeting. We definitely need somebody to keep time. As you all know, you can participate in discussions like this, and conversations can get very exciting and you lose track of time. So there's at least 4 roles, but it's open to more commissioners if they are available and time permits. So I don't want you to I just want you all to be aware that you don't have to be from the county that you reside in to take part in multiple discussions.
That's incredibly important. Thank you very much. And I'll fill in as much as possible, and I'll try to make it to almost every meeting if I can, for sure. Do we have, and just to kind of clarify, Commissioner, do we have a sign up yet for the individual meetings?
So it's actually page 3 of the planning document. You'll see all of the counties and you'll see the different roles that are there. Some of us on the subcommittee have already tagged ourselves. We are trying to have at least 1 subcommittee member at each roundtable discussion. So there's someone with familiarity in this whole planning process, and no one feels like they're out there by themselves. And you'll see where that it'll say commissioner needed because they're empty, or for instance, Commissioner Rios is tagged to Prince George's County. We have her as the moderator, myself as the assistant moderator, Lorena, Gabby, Katie, they're all there on that one, but we're open for more. So you can, the document is still a working document. Everyone should be able to edit it. So feel free to add yourself wherever you would like. The only thing that's not in some of these slots are the dates, because as we mentioned, the timeline has changed.
And everyone has been on those emails with the link to the document. Does anybody need the link to the document? And if anybody has it handy, it might be a good idea to share it here in our chat window. And please create a bookmark to the document as much as a bookmark to the Google Sheet, so that you guys have those handy.
Commissioner Thimbal, I believe, may have put it already in there. Yep.
Thank you very much.
And again, that one planning document, if you go all the way to the bottom, the reference documents are there that will take you to the tracker, that will take you to the discussion questions, that will take you to the sample invitation and email. So if You have to book one thing, book this planning document, and it'll get you to everything else.
Thank you very much. And so our homework will be to review the documents in this file. If you haven't done so already, please reread the updated planning document. Please contribute to the roundtable tracker with the names and emails of the contacts, especially the emails of the contacts, because Cheryl will need those to send out the invitations. And then sign yourself up for whichever roundtable you're available to co-host with other commissioners. Any further discussion on roundtables?
One thing that did come up, and I think that I answered it correctly, but I just want the gut check. To Subcommittee Vice Chair Simbalas, she had brought up that there may be folks that want to participate in the conversations that have a status issue. We are not planning to ask anyone what their status is to participate. That is not a question that is necessary for their involvement in the conversations, but want to make sure that we're not putting anyone in an unsafe situation. And I go back because this was the exact reason why we decided to change them from public meetings to private meetings, is to make sure that we are providing a safe space and that people can speak freely. So we also don't want to put them in a situation where that they need to be fearful of anything. We want everyone to be able to be welcomed and know that they are they're in a safe space. So I don't know if that is an actual concern that we need to, I don't know if there's language that we need to include in the letter. I don't know if there is, I put it out there, it was a concern, it was a valid one. I want to make sure we're all on the same page on
it. It doesn't, well, if people ask, I believe that it will be, we can let them know that that's not a question that we would ask. Although I don't necessarily think we have to make the issue a bigger deal, if that makes sense, because I feel like the more language we have, just the more nervous people get, and it's like, no, this is it is invite only discussion, and if they're invited, we're not going to ask any questions. This is about the subject matter at hand. Vice Chair.
Sure. So there was one thing. Well, first of all, I want to acknowledge how great of a job the community subcommittee has done around this. I've participated in the meetings, and it's just been a lot of things to decipher, a lot of things to wrap our heads around. So we're at a point that we can share this with you. And I just want to, say thank you to the community subcommittee for the time invested, for putting so much thought into it. So this is going to be great. I think around this time, with everything that's going on, this is going to be, like Commissioner Lena said, a safe place, right? So I'm looking forward to it. It's been a lot of moving parts, but I think we're coming to a point where we can kind of hold hands and, go into this feeling confident. But my last question around this too, we want to make it inclusive, and we want to make sure that we also provide the space in Spanish as well. So the question did come up of having a translation available through GoSee. But if not, would it be okay for us to be the translators, if you will, during those meetings? Is there a protocol around that? If not, I mean, I'm more than happy. I think a lot of us are fluent and can do that. But is there any guidelines around having a translator be part of the meetings?
I no, as far as these type of meetings, if there was any type of official uh, meeting where you require someone who is certified, an interpreter, or any formality, sometimes involving dignitaries, or things that would be broadcasted, those type of things would require someone who is certified. But if you were to provide someone, that would be great. We can contact people. We even had a one staff member who said that she will be available to help if needed. But you're more than welcome to have somebody, whether from this commission or this community, to stand up at this event or other events, to provide translation.
Yeah, I believe the woman that we were in contact with from the communications committee said that they were looking into that as well. But I think to keep the ball rolling and not get stuck on that point, when you add your name to the planning document, if you are comfortable with serving as a translator, please indicate that in parentheses, because I'll be honest with you, while I speak and understand the language, I don't necessarily feel comfortable translating. I don't think I would do folks the justice that they deserve. So if you are able to do that, that would be great, so that we know we can rely on you for that at that particular discussion. Thank you for bringing that up, Vice Chair.
So, and what I would say is, maybe we can have on the sign up just like the designated translator, or at some point just to have one person be chosen as the official translator for that specific meeting.
Yes.
So that at the time of the meeting we don't have like 5 people jumping in like in Spanish.
Agreed 100%. That's a great
So
suggestion.
so, and that's all the suggestion that I would make. And of course I will sign up as translator if as well, and happy to take a turn at one of the meetings. Commissioner Toto, please go ahead.
Just a quick question. Because I'm definitely I'm interested in translating, because pretty much I do that on a daily basis. And Carol, that I would enter that, Commissioner Hernandez, I would enter that on the spreadsheet where it says commissioner needed. I put it there.
Just when you put your name, you can also just put something in parentheses, ability to translate.
Okay.
Just so we know that you bring that skill to the conversation. And then at the time, as we are going through this, we'll make sure that we, to the chair's point, actually designate the person. So if we have 3 people that say they can translate, we'll identify who the person doing that job will be.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
Commissioner Landaverde, sorry, I saw you earlier. I
No,
forgot
it's okay. It's okay. I was just wondering, so in terms of the organizations that are not yet listed with the spreadsheet, are we able to still use our GoSee email to initiate, like informing them that we have this going on? I just want to make sure that
What do you mean by the GoSee email? Like,
Oh,
you mean just
sorry. With the commission email that we have.
like your email address that you have created for commission business? Is that what you're talking about?
Yes.
Yeah,
So
sure.
I think if you're doing just similar to what Commissioner Simbala is doing soft touches with folks to see if they're interested and available, you should probably be doing that through your official GoSee email. But please be aware, we have official language that will go out as the official invitation. So just make sure we're not sending anything as an official invitation. Like we go rogue, because there's actual language, and the protocol for the actual invitation to participate in the conversation is that the invitation will be sent through GoSee by Cheryl. That's the protocol. So let's just make sure we're that's a great question, and I'm glad we're clarifying that.
Okay, thank you.
And I would also chime in. I personally suggest maybe calling and reaching out verbally and just having that touch point via phone. Because the language can, when you're typing an email, it's coming from your GoSee Gmail, it could implicate different things. And we just want to be really careful. We want to make sure that when the official invitations go out, those are formal, they're going through Cheryl and that stuff. It's just a cleaner process. So you're more than welcome to reach out to them, kind of give them a heads up of what's coming. Absolutely. But I would suggest maybe just doing it over the phone.
Okay,
Thank
thank
you.
you so much.
Commissioner Simbala.
Just to share a little bit about my process of what I've been doing to try and get people on board with the roundtables. I've been asking people, hey, like, my councilman here locally, like, can you tell me who our Latino leaders are? And he'll send me a list of them with their phone numbers. And then I say, can you connect me with some of them? And then I have their phone numbers. It's coming directly from a councilman or whatever. And then I text them. And I've been having some success with that. Pretty, like I said, really informal. I explained from the front end. This is the informal kind of just general wanting to get this on your radar. You'll receive, you know, a formal invitation from the governor's office, da 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 da. And but like you said, Gabby, I think that touch, because how many emails do we all get that we're not really paying attention to? I think if we just kind of put it on their radar so that they know, oh, okay, like, oh, I was expecting this. So I've been doing that, and just wanted to just share kind of the process that I've been doing that they've been having some success with. And texting works really good for me.
Perfect. Thank you very much for sharing. And I think that goes for a lot of people, especially if they're like millennials in leadership. Go ahead, Commissioner Landaverde.
Sorry, I just want to ask you a question for Katie. So do you say that you're part of the commission? Is that how you like, do you introduce yourself? I'm just curious.
Yeah, I introduced myself as Katie Simbala, commissioner on da 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 da, many new words that they've added to the name of commission. So I do introduce myself as this because I am this and I'm operating in this capacity, and I'm trying to get this on your radar. That's it. So I think I do address, you know, name myself a commissioner on this commission. But yeah,
This
I
is
think that
official
I give,
commission work for
yeah,
sure. Yeah.
exactly. Yeah. We're on official commission work right now.
And Commissioner Landaverde, I encourage you to maybe reach out offline to maybe get some more one-on-one time with commissioners that are doing this to get you maybe some mentorship there as to how you should reach out if you feel you need the support. And that goes for anyone who is starting to reach out on behalf of the commission. Perhaps you don't know how to do that. I would suggest to reach out to, of course, the vice chair and myself, but also yeah, the members of the community committee that have been doing this now for some time. And so, because yep, it is official committee work, commission work, and we would love for you to recognize yourself as such. Any further discussion for the good of the cause? We have our action items for this, for the roundtables. All right. So hearing none, then it's my pleasure now to turn it back over to Chief of Staff Greg Yancey to update us on the Maryland 250 Commission and anything else that GOSI has been up to in that respect. How have things been, Chief?
I do not have any updates. I'm sorry at this
Okay.
time.
That's fine.
We are expecting them to send us kind of a list of action items for the commission to prepare for the 2026 events.
Okay. And so that takes care of all the items on our agenda. Are there any items that anyone wishes to add to future agendas? Go ahead, Commissioner Hernandez. You are on mute.
Sorry about that. I don't have a future agenda item, but I did want to bring up the Baltimore Community Foundation sequence of events. I know that they have made some adjustments, and I was very, 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 very happy to hear that they revised their stance and reevaluated how the funding was being dispersed. But I just wanted to make sure, again, when that issue came up to us, obviously we were all very, I don't think I'm out of line in saying outraged. And it sparked us to generate an email of concern both to the foundation as well as to the governor, but I wanted to make sure, I know we circulated drafts, that is in our purview, and that when things like this do come up, if that is an appropriate channel and method in which we could move addressing these certain things as they come forward. We are all doing this on a volunteer time, and we are all doing the best that we can to monitor the justices and injustices that are happening in our communities, and want to make sure that we're using our time to the best of our ability to address concerns like these. So we didn't need to send the letter, which is great, but if we would have, did we do the right thing, and did we go through the right channels so that we were quicker next time and we're more efficient for the next time?
Can I jump in?
Huh?
If I
Yeah,
could
I thought
jump
that
in.
we did. Yeah,
Oh my goodness, you did. Oh my goodness.
I think so.
The results, the reactions, um, going up the chain, left, right. So, yes, this was
Okay.
something we gave a lot of push behind, saying, this could have been handled a little bit differently or communicated another way, where some funds from various sources were going to the family, some were going for the port. But apparently there was some communication of what BCF was doing. And so, yes, you have gotten the attention of the administration. We have thank yous, a lot of thank yous for hearing this push from our commission as well, saying it's not just a matter of what's reported, even though that is concerning to the governor, concerning to the administration, concerning to our office. But when our commissioners are saying it and we're saying it as well. So I believe there's going to be some more, just more good relationships and good communications coming forward. This is a great way of doing it. In some situations or instances, it may be a matter of the new administrative director who will be coming in. Um, if we are not able, or do not believe we're advising the governor from the commission standpoint. But if it's a situation where we believe that needs to be communicated outward, then the administrative director may be putting it on the letterhead and the administrative director's name out into the community as well. And then there's also the other avenue for other events where we bring awareness um, to various situations. So we not only address those situations, but also um, provide clarity to avoid future uh, misunderstandings as well. So.
Awesome. Thank you
What's
for
that?
that.
Thank you very much for bringing that up. Thank you, Chief, for all your hard work during that process as well. Because I know that that was challenging and very time sensitive. Okay, well then for today, this concludes our agenda. Unless there's any further discussion.
Two minor things, or kind of big things. I didn't say it in my initial round. One, the bylaws, there was a draft or template. So I just encourage all of you to continue working on it. I don't know which committee is working on it or how you going to present it to the commissioners as a whole. Once you have the draft, and then we look at it as well and approval. And then the second item is that by the end of this week, I will be sending you a template. And this is a template that I've also for your annual report. And this is something that I've put in some things to help. And that might be it's erasable ink. You may not want those suggestions, and you may write other things. This is going to be your annual report. And then we're looking at June 1st for a completion. And so sometime between now and June 1st, you may have to call a meeting. I believe you will. So it's going to have to be a regular commission meeting, but a special meeting to review it, to approve it, or to approve some alternative version of it. But just to have a report that we can submit with your pictures, your bios, all of it, for the good work that was accomplished over 2024.
Sounds good. And so I think we just need some dates that you guys are available to meet. Right? So Cheryl, will you be sending those?
Yes, I can send you available dates. The best thing is to let me know what works for you, and I can let you know if I'm available.
Either way. All right. So we can just get something in the books. Then it might not be on a Tuesday necessarily, but
Correct.
but that's fine. And then so to your point, Chief. So I'll be drafting those and sending the bylaw draft to you guys. If you guys have so I understand the Ghosty doesn't have a Word version of it, so I'm just gonna copy and paste the PDF to Word. I don't know how you guys want me to do that because it's still in the draft template is in a PDF version.
Oh, I'll send it to you then. I'm
Oh,
Okay.
pretty
you have
sure.
Word?
I'm pretty sure I have a Word version of it.
Yeah,
Okay, I
For
because it'd be
didn't.
sure.
like, thank you.
I started it in Word, so I should have it. So
Right, I was surprised that we didn't have a Word version of it. So yeah,
yeah.
that'd be great because that would help us. Yeah, because formatting and all that. So I'll circulate that draft back to you guys. If that looks good, then I'll circulate to the commission. Commissioners is a very, very standard bylaws. I don't think there's going to be any surprises there, but I do want your input as well as your approval for that for our next meeting, and then we'll vote on that on the special meeting as well as voting on the annual report. So no problem there. All right. Excellent. So this concludes our agenda. Do I hear a motion to adjourn the meeting?
I motion to adjourn the meeting. Dr. Rios?
Thank you very much, Commissioner Rios. Do we have a second?
Second. Oh, go
I
ahead.
second. Everybody.
I want a second.
Speak up.
So,
Victoria had the second.
All right. Victoria had the second. Thank you very much, everyone, for participating today and for your continued participation in our community. I'll absolutely love to catch up with everybody. Have a wonderful rest of your day.
Thank
You
you all.
too.
Appreciate
Thank
it.
you. Have a good
Thank
evening.
you. Have a good evening.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.